It's a sandbox. It's a soapbox. It's FanBox.
All right, and welcome to FanBox, or It's FanBox. You can find us on itsfanbox.com or on youtube.com/@itsfanbox. We are talking Daredevil Born Again, the last two episodes, With Interest and Excessive Force, which I feel like Will should be on here. Wait. Nope, Juan's not here.
I was going to say, I'm surprised Will's not here
Yeah.
for considering the last episode.
Yeah, so hopefully Will jump in. Of course, life kind of gets at you, and we're not going to see Tony in tonight. Juan is getting himself set up. But just remember, if you are watching this maybe for the first time, or you've been watching and you haven't checked out itsfanbox.com, be sure to go do that. Not only do these episodes post as articles or post on the site, but you will see the other shows that we've done, just like we did Fandom's International Women's Day or International Women's Month last night. That's on the site. There are also reviews for things like Creepshow and the last Joker film, which interestingly enough, it encourages you to give it another chance. For me, it would be the first chance because I haven't even watched the movie yet.
I still refuse to give it a chance.
and so maybe the article will change your mind, but there are different things on there. We have the Fandoms episode, and of course tomorrow we will be doing TARDIS Talk. We're doing Boomtown tomorrow, so that should be exciting. We're almost to the end of one whole season of Doctor Who, which I am super excited about. But with that said, let's go ahead and we're gonna get ready to go around. Once I get a thumbs up from Juan, I'll go ahead and bring him up on screen. I got the thumbs up. Here we go. One. All right. Juan,
there he is.
There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and go from this direction. Then we'll go down to Johnny, and then we'll go over to Juan.
Clockwise.
So tell us who you are, where we can find you, and we'll just keep going.
I am Xanatos1138 on all social medias, mostly TikTok.
Hey guys, I'm a spoonful of shade across all platforms, and I'm Shay Jones.
Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, also known as Marvelous Johnny. You can find me Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, probably Twitch at some point. Just make sure you put 2 L's in that Marvelous.
And Juan reads comics, and I'm having some technical difficulties, but you can find me everywhere on Juan reads comics, anywhere on your platforms.
And if you haven't checked out, Juan did an amazing article about the things that he wished he would have known before collecting comics. That is on the It's FanBox website. Absolutely great read. Loved it. I enjoyed reading it myself. So definitely check that out as well. But let's go ahead. We're talking about 2 episodes here. The first episode, we're not going to go into both at the same time. I know, David, you've got some notes for these episodes, but let's talk about Excessive Force. I'm sorry, With Interest, as it is the episode that's taking place around St. Patrick's Day. And it's really a nice, what I felt like was a really cool one-shot episode in the midst of this series that was it definitely helped be a catalyst to the next episode, but was a great like microscopic look at Matt and his life and what he can do, just being Matt Murdock and his abilities, not just necessarily being, Daredevil. Let's go. What do you guys think about? What did you think about that first episode?
Just being a really good lawyer.
God damn it, David.
This is the same minus the bedazzle. This is the same Funko that Yusuf had on his desk, and I was like, I have to put this here now.
I saw it at a comic book shop recently. I was considered buying it.
There are actually Funko dealers that will take those actual Funko Pops and bedazzle them more.
Even Yusuf said it was a custom made one too, which is the best part.
Yeah. And also that means Funkos are canon to the MCU now.
I mean, wasn't that confirmed in the Ms. Marvel show?
I thought it was, but I don't remember specifically. Now we have to go back. Now you have to go back and watch Ms. Marvel for a good reason. Because
just episode 1. You just need to do episode 1.
No, you need to do all the episodes.
I mean, I support all the episodes, but if you just want to know the answer to that question, it's just episode 1, luckily.
I'll take any excuse to see the cons, like any of them, because they're so like the whole family is just so
Oh my
fun.
god. I rewatched the Marvels recently, and just having the brother pray as Nick Fury's flying them around. He's just like, "Are you praying? No,
And he
don't
stops,
stop.
like, don't stop. And he's like,
We need all the
amen.
help we can get. Amen."
Yeah, such a fun episode. Definitely, the cons are a lot of fun. But yeah, so this is a St. Patrick's Day heist. And of course, Matt could easily have just like called the police and whatever else, but he decided to put himself back in the fire with these guys. And of course, because of his heightened abilities, he's able to kind of pick up on things.
He
And
technically did call the cops. He called the cops.
he,
Or-
well, he told
had
someone else to.
he had somebody else call the cops. But yeah.
Yeah. And he walked back
Right.
in. But I will say, never would have thought that Matt Murdock's abilities would be helpful in like bank heists. Just the fact
Really?
that he was able to completely like open up that combination lock was one of the things. Like, it's so good he's a good guy, because if he wasn't, like, there'd be trouble.
Dude, in the Spider-Gwen universe, he is like a version of the Kingpin. He runs crime. He's still blind and everything, and he isn't much of a dare, but he is very much the devil in that universe. I'm forgetting what number it is, but yeah, no. If you want to see an evil Matt Murdock, read the original Spider-Gwen comic series.
Okay, I think I actually have them. Was that post the second Secret Wars?
No, I don't think so. It was because Spider-Verse happened after the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, if I'm remembering correctly, and then that series only came out after the first Spider-Verse.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. I have to go back and look. I think I have.
Someone's welcome to fact
Man.
check me though. My memory's starting to get loosey goosey.
I wish I wish I read comics as often as you guys, because I have 6 issues of the Mayor Fisk run that was supposed to be, I guess, what inspired the show, or some of what inspired the show.
Oh,
I'm
that
on-
ties into
Yeah.
Devil's Reign.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on issue 3, and I haven't read it in days, and I have to get back to it.
Oh, David. If only you've seen the Kingpin right now in the Ultimate Universe.
I'm gonna cosplay
right.
the Kingpin in a couple months.
Dude, I'm not kidding. Dude has tattoos all over his bodies. It's kind of sick.
Wow.
I'll send you pictures.
It's
But-
funny because I was actually at a used bookstore. I ended up getting the One More Day storyline and just a compilation. And I listen, like, it still infuriates me a lot in that series. But I will say, the moment he bodies Kingpin in the prison is one of the best moments with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that. So yeah.
That's the insane thing.
Just him
That's
grabbing him by the
written
skin
by- Yes.
and holding him. Yes.
Imagine
In fact,
if
hold on.
Spider-Man were to just give you nipple twisters, honestly. Ooh,
It's
I hate
I
it.
don't want to imagine, Johnny. Don't put those thoughts.
He
in
doesn't
my
even need to pinch. He just needs to put his fingers on and just
head. Okay, that's
rotate,
enough. That's enough. Let's
probably.
keep going. What? Hey, save us from this.
Back to Bourne again.
Me?
So can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good.
We
good,
can.
Good.
Let's see. I'm actually.
Okay.
But as
going
Tony
through-
said, Shay, by all means, please.
yeah.
I was just waiting. I'm like, me? Okay, cool. So calm supremacy rules this house every day, all day. I'm sorry. I don't understand how anybody can have seen Miss Marvel and not fall in love with this family. Every member, I'm absolutely down. I will ride for them consistently. And it's so funny because like watching that scene when he's showing off the Funko, and I'm just like, you better be a proud daddy. Like this, like even at this point, because I know you know.
right.
So I'm just like, sir, you're such a proud father, and I like in the aspect of the fact that like even though obviously Kamala's a girl, she's a teenage girl being a superhero, and even though like as a dad he might want to shield her from that, but he can't because she has these powers now. He's actually standing 10 toes down, and we're seeing so much pride and a different
Grace,
just
right? It's great.
yeah different like grace, pride.
Mhm.
And just an understanding, like especially when you have a girl who's a superhero, it's always like you want to now try to shield her from something. Like we're seeing her in a sense, like in Moon Girl. Like if you haven't seen the second season of Moon Girl, when her mom found out, she was like, "You're no longer going to be doing this, no matter how bad it was getting around their city. She's like, "You're not putting on that suit because I have to protect you. That's my job as your parent."
Mm-hmm.
But having to come to the realization of just you're the parent, but I'm doing something that's so incredible, so worthwhile, and something I need to do because it's just the person you raised me to be. Like I didn't get here. I don't get here without you raising me this way.
Mm-hmm.
So being this good of a person, it comes from you. I learned it from you. So watching this father stand 10 toes down in pride, also promoting like come to Jersey City, we got our own superhero, Miss Marvel. Like, have you heard of her? Like, I'm like, I love that. I love seeing that aspect of parents who, because I've talked about it a lot where POC children are the only people that if they ever got powers is the one time you can't keep anything from your parents. Your family, your parents, they will know. We're not allowed to keep those like those things cannot stay secret because we're always in somebody's business.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Matt could tell that Miss Marvel and Kamala were the same person?
I don't think so. But I don't think like it won't take him long, if that makes sense. Like it will not take this man long to figure out if he even spends a dinner with them to figure out something.
Oh, yeah.
There's something more to the family. There's something more to Kamala. Because again, like he said, heightened senses is not going to really take him long to figure out something is a little off. I don't think he's going to think it's a bad thing. Obviously, like he's not going to see it's a bad thing. And also, like he said, like you know, as a defense attorney, I'm here for your sons and your daughters. Like
Mm-hmm.
like also that was the emphasis when he said daughters.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, someday you might need me.
Mm-hmm.
Like someday she might need a lawyer. I'm here, okay? Like there's an emphasis on the fact that he said daughter, even though besides the fact that obviously Khan just like, but there's an extra emphasis on that, and I'm just like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Kamala showing up some way or Matt coming to represent her in some way. Either way, I'm absolutely down. I cannot wait to see. Personally, I want them to give us that scene. I don't care if it was deleted. Make that happen. Make a dinner scene between Matt coming to Jersey City and having dinner with the Khans.
Well, we've seen Matt already have to deal with damage control where they're where he worked with Peter Parker, and we know that he's already been in that part of it. We've seen him where he's been on the West Coast where he's done defense for superheroes. We've seen him do superhero casework in She-Hulk. We've got him now, slightly intertwined with the Khans, and I wonder if with the vigilante like focus that King I want to say Kingpin that Fisk is having in New York, if we're not like steps closer to Kamala's Law. And I know it's like
the outlaws.
So this whole idea where anyone under the age of 18 cannot enact in any type of vigilante, in vigilanteism. Yeah. And so I could see him being a defense of that. Now, how that falls into what we're going for next year, going into Doomsday and Secret Wars, which is in essence, it's everything but, and I'm going to keep saying this until we've seen the movie and I can turn around and go, I was right. It's a soft reboot of the MCU, and we're going to get some rebooted characters with new actors, and we're going to get some of the old characters with the same actors from before, but it's going to be that opportunity to reboot and tell new stories where there's this amalgam, universe that is going to have some X-Men. It's going to have, the Avengers and everything else, that they may run that storyline down the road, because I don't think Charlie Cox is going anywhere when it comes to being Daredevil. And we're only coming into like another season, and then we're going to have to see how Doomsday and Secret Wars plays into, Born Again or whatever they're going to call it next season. Like, still Born Again. I don't know, whatever. But obviously they're intertwining the characters more, and I think we're going to see more of that in the Disney Plus shows than we may necessarily see in the movies. And
well, I think for Spider-Man, he's coming in like the reason Tom is not going to be in Doomsday is because Spider-Man 4 is going to take place the same time, like the same time frame.
That
So
we're
whatever-
aware of at the moment.
That- yeah,
I feel
essentially
like
that-
I feel
that-
like they're gonna. They
Nah.
got
Well,
they're-
also there's a thing between Robert Downey Jr. and Marvel. If you look on social media, where he was basically saying like, with all those chairs, like that's enough company, and basically Marvel Studios said there's always room for more.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's not. It's just the first 5 hours of seat explanations. Next there'll be musical trailers or something. I don't know.
Okay, now
Musical
don't
trailers.
taunt me like that. I love musicals, and I still deem it that Marvel should still embrace more of their musical side.
I
Well,
think
well,
Marvel.
Roger's
I think
musical's still
Marvel
there.
needs to bring back Eternals, and yes, I will always bring up this conversation.
Oh, 100%. I'm still like, did you guys see my bingo card? I think I sent it to some of you guys. But like I had like Lauren Ridloff on there because I needed some kind of Eternals to pop up in Doomsday, but nothing.
Like, I'm sorry.
What-
Okay, so
what-
because like technically you can still include her. You can include Angelina and technically Sprite, because even though she ain't got no power, she's still there. She just
Oh, and Barry
whatever.
Keoghan.
Yes.
Right.
So like you got like at least three and Harry Styles, whatever. You still got these characters that you could like nothing against them, but like
Yep.
okay, I was here for my Makari, my Druid, and my Athena, and I'm just like, you still have these characters. There's no reason why you cannot include them. I'm sorry. Again, you put Angelina Jolie into the damn MCU, and you're not gonna do anything.
You'd
Like
pull
that-
my mom in for that
Well,
movie,
what-
probably.
Like
Oh,
that don't
nope.
make.
There
Oh,
goes one.
He didn't like what you said.
Well,
What?
listen,
Like the Eternals?
listen.
I don't know.
Okay, so
Wait,
here's
what
the
we
thing.
got against? What we got
But-
against Cena? Hold up.
But here's the thing: you put Angelina Jolie in, we've seen what happened to her. We had Christian Bale, and look what happened with him.
But also at
Christian,
the same time,
Christian
imagine
Bale-
the budget for
that's-
that.
Christian Bale's a whole separate thing.
Oh,
First,
hold on. We got a man on the street bringing us in for some
Oh,
Daredevil.
I thought it was
Not a
Juan
man-
for a moment.
not
Look-
a man on the street.
Where's the mask, Will?
I am so sorry, but I
Do you have a pool?
got
Also,
stuff
first of all,
to
how is
do.
it light where you are?
Yeah, West Coast. Welcome to it.
Woo!
Um,
I'm in the
So-
I'm in the West Coast. It's dark. What do you mean?
It's light over here in Vancouver.
oh,
And
there you go.
it's dark over here in Cali. So what do you mean? So you got light.
Well, I'm up near the San Francisco Bay Area, so I'm a little more west. So
Okay.
still got a couple minutes, but I just wanted to apologize for not showing up, especially as the guy that has been complaining for weeks that we aren't getting Daredevil in the Daredevil. So I know it was disrespectful of me for me to not show up. I gotta pressure wash my fake lawn because my dogs dug it up. It's terrible. So I'm very, very sorry. I mainly wanted to come and say that and said it was nice to see him in the costume. I loved the first hour. The second hour was okay. And I don't really feel like there was enough motivation. Like, there almost wasn't enough payoff to get him in the costume.
What, him going fuck it wasn't enough?
I liked it.
Oh,
I'm not
Also-
gonna lie.
Also, like what do you mean that wasn't enough payoff? That little girl did not deserve to die. That's a good enough reason for me.
But also, I really feel like we were looking for like this big moment. I really feel like with this natural progression. I feel like Frank Castle was his priest. Like that's where he got his faith back, and he was willing to go do it. And he felt how good it was in that first hour, kind of knowing that he made a difference and saved Yusef and all these people. And he's like, you know what? I'm going back. Especially with him putting on the red face mask. Like,
Here's the thing. Man doesn't even know it's red. He just grabbed
Yeah.
the random one and was lucky
Right.
enough to get the red one.
But the minute you saw that he was going off with the dude in the red mask, you're like,
You know what's happened. You know what's happened.
The fact that there was so much speculation of the buildup for him to just be like, fuck it, was so hilarious to me. I loved it.
No, I like that too. It's quite good.
I did appreciate that moment. It was just that there was something for me that was just a little hollow, almost in that whole episode, except for the fact, obviously, it's these two characters that we've been married to now since the first episode where they have this meal and there's a tip off that they are, denying their true nature. And then the parallels of both of them giving in to their true nature. That was good. I don't know. It was just something about the first half of the episode. I just needed a little more. Just a little bit. Just a little.
Of the second or the first episode?
Second episode. The first episode I'm absolutely in love with. And who would have ever thought that the Daredevil TV show was going to be the one that was our connective tissue for all the Disney Plus shows.
I do have a comment about that, but I don't know if we want to include spoilers for the future of the MCU or not, based off of rumors. But
yeah, that's fair enough. But anyway, guys, thank you. Big fan of the show. My answer off.
I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for Doctor Who.
There's the pressure washer right there calling for me.
Get it done. I want to see you for tomorrow.
All right, Will. Thank you so much. Oh, he's all right. That was the man in the street, Will Wilkins, signing off.
I'm not jealous of him for having a lawn at all.
Okay, he's gone. All right. So so let's just go ahead and just talk about all of it, because I think at this point that first episode was fun and it was flawless in a lot of ways.
I do want to quickly say about the first episode though. Like I love Yusuf just being a big supporter of his own daughter, but like the moment he pulls up the Funko, I'm like, this is a bit much for me. I'm not gonna lie.
It was like, what do you mean?
Like, what's the best word? It's just, it felt a little bit like very in your face, which as the episode goes on, it dilutes itself enough that it's more enjoyable. But like in the very first moment of the instance, it's like 5-10 minutes in, Yusuf is just like, oh yeah, no, we got our very own hero of Jersey City. I thought we were just gonna see the Funko Pop, and I love that detail of the Funko Pop being on the table. But then for him to like draw so much attention to it, I'm just like, back to the main point of the episode. Please.
But that plays it, like if you go back and you watch like Miss Marvel the series, Yusuf is cheesy like that.
Yes.
And as a dad,
I still love him in the Hulk outfit.
He wants to brag on his daughter, but he knows he can't do it. So he has to brag on the hero of Jersey City. And so does Matt know? I kind of feel like Matt does know, because I feel like Yusuf is coming on really thick, because that's just how Yusuf is. Mm-hmm. And if you even because I'll be very honest with you, like one of the things when, what was it? The only redeeming quality of the Avengers video game, I'm bringing it up, was the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that interaction between Yusuf and Kamala, because like that was, I was all for that. I like just them on the Avengers Day on the carrier, and like him like talking with her, and like he was there as a support for her and everything else, like that feeding into her, like her fan fiction and everything else, like that is Yusuf. And so I'm here for that. And I listen, being a guy who at my job, if you were to sit at my desk, I have a President Loki Funko Pop that I like to show off, that's just sitting over, between like my couple Lego things that I brought to work, because I'm a nerd. I'm a big old nerd. So if my kid had a Funko Pop and I couldn't tell people that it was him, you better believe I'm going to be boasting on his alter identity. I'm like, because I tell you, he got second place in the Buy One Derby last week. Like,
no idea what that is. Not gonna lie.
Wooden cars down tracks. It's just it's.
Wait, you've never seen maybe okay.
Oh, it was Boy Scouts of America. Now it's becoming Scouting America. The whole America thing, I think, cancels out for Johnny.
Yeah, usually. The only America thing that registers in my brain is Captain America.
I'll take it.
Granted, the only Canadian thing that pops in my head is Degrassi, so we're even.
Not Ryan Reynolds, Simu Liu.
I just thought of
I grew up on Degrassi, The Next Generation.
All right, fair enough.
Mounties and Boosters is what I thought of. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
How much have I talked about Canadian culture, David? And none of it has
Letterkenny.
Well, it's Degrassi, and then it's Descendants, the castle. Like, I'm obsessed with that castle.
Descendants is in Canada?
That's where they filmed it, Vancouver.
I was not aware of that. I know Percy Jackson's filmed here.
See, my thing was like I wanted to go to Vancouver so bad when Smallville was being filmed because I was so into it. Like,
Fun fact: they filmed on a murder farm.
I'm
they filmed on
sorry.
a murder farm.
They filmed on Robert Picton's farm once.
Ooh,
Which I'm
And he is
assuming
one-
was a murderer or a serial killer.
Robert Picton is one of the most prolific Canadian serial killers ever. He would go down to Vancouver's downtown east side, pick up homeless women, indigenous women, and just bring them back to his slaughterhouse. Actually know the head officer of major crimes during that investigation. It's
oh wow.
very intriguing, to say the least.
You know, I will say, like, if you are a true crime fan, I will say, like, the stuff that's coming out now about like the indigenous serial killers, like people that were killing indigenous people because they were so overlooked and they were just assumed to have, you know, just run away, or
it's still an issue right now for us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We have an entire highway that we call Highway of Tears because of the amount of missing, murdered indigenous women from that highway alone. So,
I will say, the podcast does a great job about covering some of that crime junkies.
Yes.
So,
that's a good one.
That's where I kind of got a lot of the stuff, because if you watch some of those other crime shows, like, you know, this is not Daredevil, but again, Daredevil deals with crime, so it works.
You know, serial killers now.
Speaking of serial killers, Muse kills upward of 60 people.
Yeah, and who knew that blood-based paint was like really difficult?
Only mixed with chemicals.
So that guy, and this is why I further appreciated the bank episode, is because the bank episode had people that were in like the first couple episodes come back for this for like further reasons. And then the 6th episode had that guy in the bank who was the maintenance guy that was talking about all the cleaning stuff. So like there's connective tissue, at least in the people in these episodes.
The background character work is pretty good. I'm quite.
It was really
like
cool.
You would definitely notice it if it's like animated shows, like, you know, like you get one random side character in Invincible, and you find them later on in like season 3, and then it makes a whole thing for you there.
Yep.
So love seeing stuff like that for live action.
What was really cool though is that same guy who talks about the blood-based paint. He's the one that kind of like clues in the Matt. There's no money in the safe.
Yeah,
it's all safety deposit boxes. He's like my baseball card was probably the most expensive thing down there. So, like, I love that. I love the fact that he's the most informed person right now between Matt and Fisk.
Yeah, but also one of the funniest things to me is that we now have to add a new power set to Daredevil is that he can do a really good Irish accent. And I don't feel like that's as much Matt Murdock flexing as it is Charlie Cox just going like, I can do Irish too.
Even Angie Kim, the character Angie Kim, when she told the joke, that was pretty decent.
Yeah,
that was great actually.
Okay, are we? So remember, what was it? Juan, I don't know where he went, but Juan had the thing that we had to have a priest and we had to have an officer. Do you think Angie's going to be the officer for Matt? Because I'm
no, because of what I know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Is Angie a character in the comics, or is she just original? Because I wish Angie was Yuri Watanabe.
That I was thinking that I was like, Asian character. Wait, is this the same Asian lady from the first episode who was sitting with Matt's new PI guy, or is this like a brand new one who may or may not be Yuri?
I had to look it up because they even dressed her the same.
Yep.
They dressed her like Yuri, and I'm like, wait, is that? No, it's not. It's the lady from the first episode talking to Cherry. Damn it.
I kind of want them to have Misty Knight show up.
Just so really need to bring back Misty.
Just so I can get my Luke Cage,
actually,
and eventual Jessica Jones. And
didn't she leave the Force by the end of season 2 for Luke Cage?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, but okay, so here's.
I still want her to come back.
I know, 100% same, but like not as like.
Which she should have come back in Brave New World. I'm just saying.
Like, that she definitely could have and should have.
We don't have time to go through the.
Should have been War Machine, but regardless.
No, I think. I mean, granted, just because we're on Brave New World, quick, I just think Brave New World isn't bad. It's not, and Anthony Mackie can show. I think what was Marvel and Disney are slowly doing, which I don't appreciate, is essentially kind of putting the POCs in front and then either letting them swim or sink by themselves, and then blaming it on the leads for whatever
swam.
Look, and I'm just we're not talking about Shang-Chi. We're getting a second one, so we're great. Like
I'm gonna be like in my late 30s when I get that.
They're filming it, so we're really good on this one, and I'm really happy because no, it's so funny because somebody did a video essentially like trying to explain all the Marvel movies, and essentially say how Shang-Chi, like they learned that not all Asian people can fight. It was really funny, and how Black Panther was just about. I was just like, I should be offended, and maybe I am, but this is funny. So you know what, sir? You completely right. You learned the wrong lessons, but some of these are also right. So, but when we get to Daredevil, we go back to Daredevil real quick. Is what I liked about the bank is the first of all, sir, you can hear something sliding and you are able to catch it like still at 3 feet. That's I just like no matter who you are, when you can do skills like that, I'm just always gonna be impressed. Personally, I'm always just gonna be impressed. Also, you still also should have asked more questions. I would appreciate, like, sir, this blind man somehow made it down however many 4 floors and was able to knock out the person holding a gun on you. Yeah, I mean, help him into the safe, but also, sir, do you have some skills you want to share with the class?
Yusuf
I feel like that.
He's very innocent in that way, though. I feel like he's very just trusting, gullible. I'm not sure what the right word is for that.
We also have to acknowledge the fact that like he's done the Marvels. He's seen a cat eat an entire couch, fought aliens. After a certain point, he's like, "Your blind man can do stuff." Okay.
I love how his one thing was he's like, I hope you're not doing like I hope you didn't think that because you saved the bank that we were gonna give you the loan. And he's like, but if you come to my house, I'll help you find some ways to be more lucrative. Like I love that about him. Like he's
That's
like, I acknowledge what you did. Let me
Marvels too.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not breaking the rules just because of a hero doing something, but he's gonna do his best to help it. But I love how Matt he immediately accepted it. Like he was willing to take that. And I love how that gives us potential for the future and what we may or may not see.
So can I say possible things I know about the future of the MCU in regards to that, or no?
Matt, are they rumors?
Are you calling them rumors so that they don't happen, or they do happen?
It's just things I'm hearing through the grapevine.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. These are spoiler specific. These are rumor specific. They are not spoilers because we do not know.
Yeah, we don't know if they'll actually happen. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe it'll get scrapped like the Blade movie.
Don't give me. First of all, do you know how disrespect? Like, I'm sorry. Do you understand how disrespectful it is to like the one entire franchise that is the reason why Marvel like started popping? Just for you to say we're bringing it back. 5 years pass.
Have him pop up.
6 years pass for a voiceover, and then you to say, oh, and then change director, writer twice.
Was it twice? I'm pretty sure it was more.
I remember 2. Okay, yeah. I remember 2. So that's where I'm at. I remember the 2 switches. If we have more than that, we have more than that. But I remember the 2. Just for you to take it, you take the slot away. You say it was supposed to be November 2025. We're not doing that no more. To now, essentially nothing, because Mahershala Ali's now doing Jurassic World, and I'm just like,
Jurassic World.
So the one character that like fans have been begging you to do, because who does not love Blade, and you actually have a person of the talent that is Mahershala Ali, who actually would be on par to do the type of job that Wesley Snipes did with this character. You had all the ingredients to be successful, and you just don't want to see us succeed, and it really hurts my heart.
So very quickly, apparently the reason why we saw so many delays is because Mahershala didn't like the scripts he was getting, and he wanted the movie to be like very artistic and like almost Oscar worthy, is from what I'm understanding of the situation.
Which is not a problem.
Which isn't a bad thing. Like the man deserves that kind of work. He should have that say.
With some of the scripts that Marvel's come out with, I would probably say that was a very good thing. Let's face it, we got Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, and the amount of like horrendous stories about him being difficult on set. So it is possible to have a diva dealing with or dealing with a diva. Is that the story of the MCU? Yeah.
Sorry.
So you can deal with a diva and
All the
still have
notes.
things released. But I almost feel like with Deadpool and Wolverine when Wesley Snipes made that comment,
there's only ever going to be one Blade, despite
I'm
the
like,
one Blade TV show that came out a while ago.
Right? Like it's on
Spike
CW. I could
TV?
just watch it.
I remember watching that. I still remember seeing the trailer for that show when I got Rush Hour 3 on DVD.
First of all, yes, I love
That's
Rush
the
Hour
first time I ever saw that TV show. I was like, wait, is this the same character? Like, they're clearly different actors, but same character? I watched it. Wasn't great, but yeah.
It also wasn't bad for a TV
It definitely wasn't
show.
bad. It was like watching what's a good equivalent? It was like watching I'm thinking of a DC show. Powerless. It's like watching Powerless. I actually quite enjoy Powerless.
I didn't mind Powerless. Powerless was like, I think what it gets me about Powerless was just very camp. And a lot of people don't appreciate camp until well past after it's done.
Yeah.
Like,
which is so sad because a lot of
it
people actually don't like episode 5 of Born Again because they're saying it's campy. They don't like that it's just a ball episode, kind of.
And I think people, the way people view TV shows, feel like, and like obviously because of the whole 8 episodes we've been doing instead of like the 10, 13, 16, 22 that a lot of us grew up on, people underestimate bottle episodes and filler episodes. They are important. Whether they're slow paced or not, they are important for a reason. Because if we gave it all to you immediately, you would also have a problem with that. You just would. You're not going to be satisfied regardless. But at least the bottle episode or filler episode really does flesh out things in a way that when you get to that big moment in the next 2 or 3 episodes, you're like, damn, like that is good TV.
So this brings a good point.
Shows ever. One of my favorite episodes of my favorite TV show ever is a bottle episode, and that's Community.
Well, like this particular episode was it connected things so well that I'd almost say it was barely a bottle episode or was not filler. Like you talk about filler, and that's basically like a Dragon Ball Z episode where they're all having a picnic for no reason.
Or most of Iron Fist.
Well, it's kind of like, okay, so like this is fresh in my mind because I just got caught up to where we're at now. It's like My Hero Academia. There are filler episodes that are worthless, that they just bring things up, and then there are filler episodes that they do right before a big arc or before the finale of a big arc that are showing you something from the past that is going to play into the future. And that's kind of like what had happened. It felt self-contained in that Bang episode, but then we have a direct correlation of him. He's talked to Frank. He's done this heroic thing. Yeah, of course, Daredevil is going to come back to save the day. But I think what's also serving really well for Born Again right now is the fact that we know there's a season 2 already in production. We know that we're going to get more Daredevil down the road. And so where these loose ends that used to bother the crap out of us and things like Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and everything else where we don't know and we're not guaranteed a season 2, we have that knowledge going into this, like, oh, they'll probably deal with this on the next season, or maybe more down the road, because let's face it, we want Daredevil and we've enjoyed Daredevil. And so I feel like there's more potential for us to have these. Not everything has to be buttoned up, and so we don't feel the pressure for the finale for this season as much as we would elsewhere. Because honestly, I've seen Daredevil back in the suit. He's kicking butt. I want to see what's going to happen with him and Muse next. If anything, I just love the fact that Fisk went to toe to toe with Adam and kicked the crap out of him. And
Gave the man an axe, and he still fumbles.
And we're seeing that, and we literally that would have been a great season finale right there.
Yeah.
No, I would have torn my hair out. If that was the season finale, I would have pulled my hair out.
I mean,
no, because we know there's a season 2.
I would have tied the string from Muse onto the ladder, and then I would have helped her. I'm just saying, you ain't have to let him go. But that's again me. If I'm doing a job, I don't. But again, like I said,
is it fair to say he's rusty?
Yes, just a tad. Just
let's be fair. The dude has a new skill set. I've seen online. People like, when did Matt start being able to like throw things in the void of what he cannot see and be able to perfectly plan a ricochet? And for that, I say I don't care. I thought it was fun.
Every single Daredevil comic.
Yeah,
Not that I don't care.
but honestly, I think we go back to I feel like there was a moment in the Netflix series where we kind of got a visual idea of what Matt is seeing, where it's very much like an echolocation and he can see the
with
shape
Karen
of people.
in the rain.
Yeah, so we know that there is something with his ability that he can see and he has more spatial awareness than we realize.
If I remember the quote correctly, it's like watching the world on fire. I think that's how you described it.
Oh, that's perfect, especially for being Daredevil.
Exactly.
In Hell's Kitchen.
Exactly.
I love it. Love it.
That reminds me, they kind of, I don't know if I want to say poke fun at the Daredevil origin at one point, but they kind of reference it in a jokey way when he's like, what do you say? Blimey, you're an orphan too, something like that. Like the whole,
you're the whole
like
package. You're
regular
blind.
Charles Dickens
You're an orphan.
character.
Exactly. That was a good one.
Yeah, you're Irish. like, I think that was a great joke. It's just like, dang, when you really think about it, sir, you might be a Charles Dickens character. I don't know which character. We could count the ways.
I've not read enough Charles Dickens's to make a comment on that one.
I will say I think we sometimes glaze over some of the origin stories, with the exception of Batman, because we've seen that enough. But
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Like let's face it, Uncle Ben, let him stay. Don't kill him again.
Let him stay Rice. Let him stay Rice.
But as we learned, that is
Rice?
a canon event. That is the one thing that will always happen.
Yeah.
Unless you might be the MCU. In which case we still don't know if Uncle Ben died in that manner.
I mean, he did because Aunt May was by herself. So,
but we also get the understanding that it wasn't Uncle Ben that taught with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
That was May, and that's that we go back to Spider-Man and stuff like again, like I think I was feeling a little bit discontented with Far From Home, and it wasn't until I finished watching No Way Home and realized the entire trilogy was an origin story. And I'm sitting there going, that was one freaking long origin story, but I loved it that way. I liked it better. So what?
It's still a messed up. I'm still pissed about that damn. I'm still pissed. No Way Home pisses me off. Cause I'm pissed at Strange. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm pissed at Strange because it's his fault. I'm sorry, sir. It is your fault. You don't dang on well. This child is a child. He's still 16. You need to explain things to this child before you say, "Oh, I'm gonna do a spell," which you were also just told in the presence of a child you shouldn't be doing anyway. But you still gonna do it. But you might want to explain parameters to a child about what's.
But just like we saw in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Strange forgets he's a kid. Like that just happens. Like there are moments where Peter is very deep when it comes to responsibility, but when it comes to being responsible, he's not. And that's the funny part. It's like, I have to be responsible with my powers, but with everybody else's powers, could you do this thing and make it work? And,
Or Strange could have said, "Did you call him first?" I'm like, he's also the adult in the situation. I understand he thinks that Peter is but he's like, "Sir, I just told you I'm trying to get into college. Obviously, I am not an adult here. So why would I think to call to see if I can reschedule or get a meeting or interview or something?" Because I just want because obviously my identity has been revealed. It's ruining not my life, well, not just my life, my girlfriend's life and my friend's life, and that's not what I wanted. And then to have everything stripped of him, I'm sorry, I have to get a GED. I would be so upset. Like, you mean all that time I went through school from K to 12 and I have to go to get a GED now?
Yeah, I personally,
I'm throwing hands.
I liked the origin in Far From Home when they're basically positioning him to be the next Tony Stark. Like, I don't care how unpopular it was. I really like that direction. For them to just go into No Way Home, like, yeah, we're gonna give him the same origin.
But here's the thing: Tony overestimated Peter in giving him the Edith glasses. And Strange overestimated him and these are adults that are forgetting that they're dealing with kids. And I think this is a really great thing. We're getting into the Young Avengers, I promise you, when the adults are going to get involved with them, they're going to screw those kids up so bad. Like they've got to be segmented separately. Like it's just how it is. I mean, look at like Kate and Yelena. Like Yelena, I think is the only adult that I think would be able to handle them and with kid gloves enough.
Pretty sure age-wise, she is an adult.
No,
But,
like,
like,
I mean, age-wise, but like mentally, she's still technically her child is more in front of her than it is behind her. Because there are lots of times, especially in Black Widow, and watching even the clips from the trailer for Thunderbolts, where she's having a conversation with her guardian, and you just like you see that little girl that was still inside of her, like you didn't protect me. I had and like now Natasha's not here, and I have to figure out to become that person she may have wanted me to be outside of being an assassin, but I can't do that because she's not here. And you're a mess. Like, sir, you're a mess. But we're both messes together. So essentially, I'm the child having to try to parent my parent, but I'm also an adult. So it's like this whole little pendulum of we don't know where we're ending up. But that girl's more of a child than she is an actual adult.
Yeah, and I think that's also for the fact that Natasha tried to protect her as much as possible. I mean, Yelena was not aware of the entirety of what they were doing in America at that time as when they were kids. Natasha helped keep that illusion. That's why Yelena is still convinced that they're a family because we were never a family, but they pretended. But for Yelena, it was real. It was real. It was real to me, And so, we had that, that whole, understanding. And I think Yelena didn't grow up in a lot of ways. I think that's also how she protected herself. She kept that immaturity and some type of levity, because otherwise, I mean, look at Natasha. She had read in her ledger. She was constantly trying to make up for, and it wasn't until the loss of the Avengers that she realized that was the only family that she really knew, and she would do anything to try to keep that thing alive, even to the own detriment or the own destruction of herself. And so I will say the women in Marvel needed more screen time, but what screen time they had, a lot of them very strong, like stories and messages that I think that were entirely necessary. But yeah, so Daredevil.
Was waiting for us to get back to it.
Question though. Am I the only person who thinks Muse is that kid from that first or second episode with the doctor?
I know there was a talk of misdirect, but I really feel like it's that kid.
I think it's Matthew Lillard.
That, first of all, Matthew Lillard, as tall as Matthew Lillard is, that ain't him. I mean, Muse might be just a little bit taller than Charlie, but like it ain't enough height difference for that to be Matthew Lillard.
You can always just stage him differently.
Well, I mean, they could give what Charlie the platform shoes like they did for Robert Downey Jr. in every Marvel movie.
True.
The dude is short.
Not as short as Tom Cruise, though.
There was one, because Marvel always has number references that are comic books. So the 407 on the bank deposit box, I looked up that Daredevil comic issue, and it really has like no correlation I don't think to anything. It's just what is it? Rookie cop tries to bust Daredevil for assaulting a hood while he is trying to find out who sent Nitro after him. Daredevil confronts the Kingpin about the situation, and Fisk denies he had anything to do with it. And at some point, Ben Urd gets a call that the Kingpin is dead.
Yeah, that's.
So, are we saying for like season 2, like Fisk might be taken out,
or am I getting Nitro in the MCU now?
Who is Nitro? I don't know who
Nitro's
Nitro is.
the reason why Civil War happens in the comics. Nitro is the guy the New Warriors fights that helps blow up the school that then causes the comics version of Civil War. That's the only reason why I know Nitro.
Yeah, because he was very forgettable. Yeah.
So that's how we get Doomsday, maybe.
Like Nitro's the key.
Like they can't use Civil War now, so I'm just saying like it could be.
I mean, they could use Civil War too.
I really feel okay. Let's just throw out like it's Marvel. We'll talk about anything. I think that Doomsday is going to be in a direct correlation to Fantastic Four First Steps. I feel like possibly Galactus follows the Fantastic Four into the MCU's like sacred timeline, and that while the Avengers, the X-Men or whatever, as everything's collapsing around Galactus, as they're trying to fight off the threat, Doom is finding some way to become God Doom, which is going to lead us into Secret Wars.
Like, okay, so here, the more we talk about this movie, the more overly stuffed it sounds.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. But more than
26.
Basically, it's like, but think of it this way. Think of it this way. What was Avengers Infinity War? It was the heroes separated fighting a threat that was on Earth and in space while Thanos was going around collecting the Infinity Stones to where he ended up making everything happen. And so basically Doom is collecting his version of what the Infinity Stones would be for him to be God Doom. And the end of Doomsday is everyone being like the world's colliding. We have the incursion that destroys the sacred timeline, and everyone wakes up in Battle World. That's what I'm saying. And then that's going to be the Secret Wars. So
I think it'll just be Avengers versus X-Men for like 25% of the film, I'll say.
All I know is Scarlet Witch better show up. I know she said she ain't, but she needs to be showing up. Because I'm sorry, man, there's no reason.
I mean, hey, James Marsden said he wasn't in Doomsday either.
Lies. But also, I also hope Hallie's there. Because I'm sorry, the ratio, not only the ratio, because we talked about yesterday, the ratio of men to women that are now,
he was Channing Tatum Gambit again before,
as well as
Harry or Famke.
And like I said, I get it. Everybody has their own feelings about Halle Berry being Storm. I totally get that. But like if like you said, Tony, like it could be like, oh, we're gonna like here's the characters, then it's gonna be the new characters in these roles. Cool. But she deserves to have a good script, a mega level threat powers. She deserves that moment. She deserves the moment. Especially after they tricked her for the third movie. She deserves her moment to have that. I want her to have that. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't care how they do it. You like if you want to bring all the white people from X-Men, bring the one black person you got,
and maybe, and so this would be great. Bring Halle Berry back, but her not be an Americanized Storm. I want the queen, the tribal queen, like she was viewed as a god.
From like Black Panther era,
so we have like a actual, she's from from Africa. She's basically deemed as a goddess amongst people, and she is dealing with her own struggles and stuff. And give her good scripts. Don't give us lines like, do you know what happens to a frog when it's struck by lightning? Which honestly, there was more to it. It's just they cut everything else out. So there was like a back and forth about that, and it would have made more sense, but it still was a sucky line. So,
which is funny because she next to Patrick or even Ian, she was that biggest name at the time. She had just won her Oscar around this time. So it was the effect that they used her, especially for promotion, just to give her what they gave her, and then gave her a fake script to get her to sign on for 3. If I was her in my script, I'm like, you cannot change the script on me. Whatever script you gave me, the script we're gonna be doing.
But let's face it,
that should be a clause.
She should have learned her lesson from X-Men because they Catwomaned her hard later on. That was a terrible movie.
We don't know. No, we don't hate on Catwoman. No, I'm sorry.
I don't hate on Halle Berry as Catwoman. I just the movie.
If
you love the movie, I am not saying
the movie's camp. It's not I'm not saying it's the best superhero one. Catwoman is on the same level as Batman and Robin to me. It's very enjoyable. It's very camp. It's very fun. I have a great time.
Catwoman is the issue because
at least you have your
name again.
Your Bat MasterCard or a Bat American Express or whatever it was.
Was it American? I can't even remember. But yeah, no. What was Halle Berry's character name in Catwoman again? Patience or something like that.
Patience. Yeah, that's her name.
Oh, they Madame webbed her.
Patience Phillips, that's what it was. At least they had alliteration.
Yeah.
But she ate down the outfit. You can't even. If the one thing, nothing else, Mama ate. The outfit, chef's kiss.
So
I love how I'm the only one said in
I'm trying to remember the outfit as the thing.
Oh, that outfit.
can't
No,
remember
it was like leather pants and like a very small top
Tank
with
top?
like she had the whip strap or whatever, and yeah,
Okay.
and then she had the cowl, like it was just a cowl.
Yeah, like half.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fine. At least she had a cowl.
yeah. There was no.
And don't
there
forget the
was-
diamond
there was no-
encrusted claws.
Right.
Those are nice.
Or with the exception of like when you
I
had
think I'm
like
just
Michelle
remembering
Pfeiffer
Batman
with
Returns
the
right now.
she had the seamstress like the seam cutting things that she just
Oh yeah,
who
where you
has-
just cut the
who
thread.
what is she let's go back to at this point Daredevil, whatever. Daredevil is kind of like a Batman of Marvel anyway, so let's go. So Batman Returns,
He should be
we
called
have-
Batman.
what is Michelle Pfeiffer's character doing that she requires to have that many of those seam cutting finger things? Like that was a
What do
lot. Like
What do you mean?
okay, so what I'm doing
She
is
bought a
listen,
bundle by accident. She ordered 20 instead of
10?
5.
Wait, now I have to look. I have to...
She kept losing him and just kept buying more, and then found them all at the same time.
So you
There you
said, wait, Batman. Let me see. Batman Returns.
This is Batman
I gotta.
Returns, yeah.
Okay, there it is.
I like
I
how
have
we
to
keep
see. I have
trying
to
to
like.
jump through hoops to
like I know.
justify.
Listen, I am crafty, and I have multiples of things because you lose stuff or you want to have extras just in case one breaks. But 10, that's like
I mean, back then, QVC was running wild, so I'm sure she got like a big pack of them off QVC.
And who knows? Back then, before inflation kicked in and everything,
oh, you mean I
she
can
was
get them
working
for
for the
5 cents a
mayor.
piece? Oh, let's go.
probably.
Yeah. So
When did Batman Returns come out again? 1984?
it was 90. It was 93,
The 90s?
94.
Yeah, it was 90 something.
Yeah, because the original Batman movie came out in 1989, and then I was probably 10 or 11, so it's probably 92, 93.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no explanation why she got these scissor hands claws.
I'm saying, like,
All I'm saying is I wouldn't mind being scratched by them.
Personally,
Okay, Johnny.
I would prefer Hallie's personally, but more because of the look and aesthetic than these. So,
Yeah.
again, just me.
I'm just gonna stop talking before I reveal more of myself. Is all when it comes to that stuff.
I mean, I think you revealed perfectly, so I mean, you're good.
David knows the dark sides.
I just
Yeah?
love the fact that we have people that are watching this right now live, and none of them have commented because I think that they're just either they're enjoying and they don't even think about communicating, or the fact they're creeped out by Johnny. So
I'm a very nice.
I'm just
person.
joking.
I'm a very kind guy. I'm just
Of course you
intimidating to
are.
look at in
Says the
person.
Canadian. Canadians are nice. That's your shtick.
Until you fuck with us.
Unless you're a
Yeah,
Mountie, and then they
To
just
be
remember
fair,
everything.
Johnny is the nicest Canadian I know.
But I will also
How many Canadians do you know?
royally murder
I know-
people.
I only know like 4, but yeah.
Hypothetically.
Who's the other 3?
Sue, this guy Jesse, and one other person I can't remember.
Ellie?
But I'm pretty sure it's
Ooh,
about 4.
and oh yeah, Ellie and Sleepy.
Oh right, yeah.
There you go. So you know 5.
I think I know 2 or 3, and that's you, Victoria, and I forgot his name, but he's
Wait, Victoria's
Yeah, she's
Canadian?
from Toronto.
I did not even know this.
She's gonna be staying here for a while now.
Yeah.
there.
Well, with that said, Daredevil.
Yes. Back to the States.
No, honestly, I do like the music. I will say, like, the creepy concoction of like how he was like draining her blood.
Just to make sure, we are now focusing on episode 6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have one big thing that just riled me up this entire episode.
Okay, go ahead.
They introduced Cole North, who is one of my favorite freaking characters from Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run, and they made him a corrupt cop. He's not a bad person. He doesn't go out of his way to actively do things that is bad or anything like that. He's very much by the book until he's dealing with Daredevil and it finally breaks him. I know we've only gotten one glimpse of him, barely any backstory on him, but hearing the fact that he's willing to be a part of Kingpin's little police force of mafia with these actual pieces of shit cops with Punisher tattoos on them. Like, he hates vigilantes, period. The fact that they're willing to have him on there and make it by his own fruition while at it bothers the absolute hell out of me.
Well, here's the thing. I almost feel like maybe he doesn't know about what everybody else has been doing on the force, because he did just single him out.
Yeah.
Because I think of all of them. Yeah,
yes,
so
which
he
is
transfers from
accurate.
Chicago. Yeah. So he probably doesn't know these guys. Yes, he transferred because he undid somebody because of I could listen, it's almost like a vigilante justice thing, but I feel like what we may find down the road as he discovers what his counterparts are doing, he's going to be more and more against them. So there is a potential for him to kind of be more comic book centric in his storytelling, with some creative differences, but we'll find out.
I just really wished that this, I don't know, wish fulfillment, whatever you want to call it, but like to say that we want like the cop stand-in format, like we had with I'm forgetting the guy's name from season 1 through 3. But he could have been an excellent stand-in for that, because he is just an officer who completely hates vigilantes, period. So I think it could have been a good way to have kept him in check. But
that scene where they're being handed the bulletproof vests and that cop that we keep seeing with the punchable face. I feel like he was looking down at the vest skeptically. Like, do we think there's a symbol on it or something, like a mark?
I don't.
Because why would they focus on handing out the vests if they're just plain vests?
I'm not gonna say nothing. I do know what's on the vests, but
yeah, don't say nothing yet.
No, I won't.
Let that be a surprise. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, what's on the vest?
Yeah.
Words.
Or like AVTF.
It's like
I'm just gonna stay silent just in case.
Felon force.
Well, he said it was like his anti-vigilante task force, so I'm like, does it just say AVTF on it?
Okay, listen, if you're watching and you don't want to be spoiled, this is your time. Go ahead, Johnny, just say it.
It's just letters on there. But as to what it is specifically, it is a direct. It's not the Thunderbolt symbol. No, it's. Oh, frick. Give me 1 second to just Google it, because I cannot remember for the life of me.
Yeah, see, he played up the whole spoiling us, but then
I forgot.
I do know.
What is this, Moon Knight? I feel let down.
Yeah, same. Thank you for reminding me of that show, by the way.
That's rude. I liked Moon Knight. Only because I like anything with split personalities.
Oh yeah, listen. What?
I just spoiled more for myself Googling this.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me too. Okay, cool. You're for yourself, not me. Cool. Go ahead.
There's a certain crest on their shoulder specifically. It is so goddamn hard to see, though. Okay, well, anyways, I can't find the original image I was going with, but there is definitely a symbol on one of these, and I don't want to say it, because that'd be bad. Oh, here we go. Oh, you are right. It is Anti-Vigilante Task Force New York City Mayor Fisk, and it's got an eagle with a lightning bolt, not a Thunderbolts reference for anyone thinking that, and a sword.
Huh.
There we go. That's what it was.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I don't feel too spoiled, so.
No, I mean, really, they could have just shown that.
I know we're never gonna get Spider-Man, but could you imagine like these guys like in an alley just beating the crap out of Spider-Man in a corner?
Yeah, apparently we can't get him because Sony still has the rights for that, which is so annoying. Someone just buy Sony or let Sony sync already.
Well,
for movie-wise, I want the game to continue.
Sony's considered selling the Spider-Man property back, but we'll see.
Great, pay whatever it costs. Don't even negotiate.
I mean, they have to negotiate, but
yeah, just delay one of your park, renovations, and then you can afford it.
Or just close one of the boring ones down. Dude, Disneyland Hong Kong is boring as hell. I do not recommend it.
I take it back. I want to go to Tokyo, so never mind.
I have yet to go to the Tokyo one, but I do hear it's quite nice.
Yeah, I'm
Or-
thankful. I'm thankful I'm
My
not going to
personal preference,
Disneyland.
just close down Paris.
Yeah, I'm thankful I'm not going to Disneyland, California yet. Just because I want to get the whole King Thanos ride going before I go to the Avengers campus.
Mm.
I
'Cause-
pray to God when that opens, who's gone, so that I can actually come down.
Okay, with that said, this has been
He ain't
fan.
gonna. I mean, unless somebody with the skill set does something, that man.
Okay,
Or
Y'all
heart
had 2
attack, I don't
attempts.
know.
They fumbled.
First of all, that was not an attempt. That was a trap. That was a setup. Nobody has time for all that. Nobody
All right.
tried. It wasn't real. Obviously, the man that lost
Do
his
you
life
not
was so
see me
sad.
sweating here? Like let's Daredevil,
We
right?
haven't
cool.
listed any names. We're good. Anyways,
I don't know
Yeah.
his name anyway.
Good. Well, we've gone for the hour mark already. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and go to circle. We'll go backwards. So Johnny, Shay, and then David. Overall thoughts of the last 2 episodes. What do you think? And any speculation for what's happening next, unless you've read about it like Johnny has probably just done.
I haven't read anything.
Sure.
I just saw pictures.
Okay.
With interest, excellent episode. Give me more episodes like that where it's just Daredevil being Daredevil. I don't need an entire season-long arcing story sometimes, okay? I can just give me 13 episodes where it's just Matt getting himself into different shenanigans. That's fine. That's like reading a comic book. Episode 6, Excessive Force. It was fine. It was... I don't want to say mediocrity. It's just like a level above mediocrity. It is passable.
Okay.
But also the Muse fight was not as fulfilling as you thought it
Well,
would have been.
because it's not the finale for that. I think we're gonna get more. We'll get him down the road. So, yeah. Shay?
Just in regards to the last episode, it was a lot more bloodier than I essentially was expecting. Like it really was excessive force. I'm like,
Not including
we're
the
just.
vats of blood.
I watch Criminal Minds, like,
Yeah.
but I mean, obviously that's different than actual brute force, like hands punching, like blood flying. It's entirely like different. At least in my brain, it's just very different. I'm like, I'm looking at a serial killer's hideout. Cool, that makes sense. I'm not that freaked out, but now we have everything going. I'm like, okay. But I also think for Angela, we're definitely gonna see her more. I definitely can see her taking on that mantle, her uncle's mantle, trying to get stronger after what happened to her. Like this will be her catalyst. This is gonna be the thing that gets her to become White Tiger.
Another member
because
for
she's
the
never
Avengers.
because she's never gonna want what happened to her be something that happens again, and she's gonna want to get stronger because of it. So I can definitely see that's now her path. Her path is now set in stone for what her future is going to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sometimes it is and it's not true, but it's like sometimes if you have the opportunity to do something, do it yourself. Sometimes you got to be the change you want to see. It just is what it is. I did like the fight, but sometimes I'm just like, sir, how are you keep getting up this way? Like it was the awkward angle in which like he kept rising. Like, do your bones work? That was just like a question for me. Obviously, I loved episode 5. I love the con supremacy. I love the Marvels so much, and I want to see more of them because they're so enjoyable. This family has become so important to me that I just want to see more of them within the MCU. And Fist, yeah, sir. Either kill the man, because like at this point, you done had this man locked up in a cage. What is the point of all this? Like I understand because now you're a respectable businessman, quotes. You can't do the violence that you're used to. So
It's
you're now
send the message.
like so essentially like I'm like you're saying like so on one man it's like technically you have this man here for 2 reasons. It's not just for the fact that he was having an affair with your wife. I mean that's already like the most egregious thing for a Fisk anyway, but it's also the fact that like he has so many things, so many people come at him in different areas and he can't respond in the way he's always been known as. And personally I'm like, if you're gonna do all this, why not put Luca in here? I'm just saying like that would be a better use of your time. Luca could go in there. I'm sick of him in his tracksuit. That tracksuit is annoying. He's stupid. He also has a punchable face. He's on my nerves. And then I did like Daniel though, but also listen to him talk is like listen to his daddy. Like it's like the like legit. I was just like like he you know the very impassioned speech he gave, and I'm like, first of all, act. Second of all, you sound like your daddy. Third, why am I feel like I'm watching a Soprano episode? But go ahead, sir. Obviously, there's so many things we don't know about this character because I'm just like, as much as he like what he did, I'm also just like, I don't trust you either. Like you say you're loyal to things, there's something that makes me don't want to trust you. But I feel like we're gonna get that either later this season or into next season because I definitely feel like that he's really gonna be recurring. Otherwise, I can't wait to see what else is gonna happen. I can't wait to see the actual showdown because you cannot convince me that the way we started with Fisk and Matt across the table is not gonna end with them standing across from each other in some capacity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. David, you got anything to say?
So the one thing that I wasn't able to get in that I noticed in just real quick, swordsman, the swordsman in that cell phone video in the beginning was Jack.
That is Jack
Who
Ducard.
we see later, and I was so happy about that. But as far as the rest of the season, I think that maybe based on what I've seen in the comic run so far, that maybe this is going to be he's going to be in the suit, and then he'll have to get right back out of the suit, or shortly after, maybe one more episode, he'll be in it. But like the entire city chases after him in this comic because he's framed for attempting to kill Fisk because he threw his baton at a window and Fisk like he tried to murder me, and the whole city went after him. So I feel like something like that may happen in the rest of the season. He might be on the run. Something is, I don't want to say fishy about his girlfriend now, but she keeps asking about the vigilantes. So she's either going to get into serious trouble or she has an ulterior motive, something like that. But
She's using him the whole time.
I can't wait for the rest of the season though. These two episodes were probably my favorite so far.
Let's not forget, I did throw out that idea that she might also be Muse.
Yeah.
That would be like a good twist. But also, I would just like to prefer it's the child because that dude was creepy anyway. So like when you come up creepy, I have to expect you're doing creepy things. And obviously that is a very miscategorization of like just a community of people who just might like to stare. I get it. You just might like to stare at somebody. But for it to be her, I would then, if I'm Matt, question every single last thing about myself. Because how am I sleeping?
What if she groomed him to be? What if she groomed him to be Muse and she's manipulating him?
Ooh.
What if
now? See, that's a better twist.
This whole time we thought he was, and then he ends up being a victim in one of the episodes.
Okay, see here, if I find out that Muse is just a pawn, I'm gonna be annoyed though. Like, I really love Muse from that original Charles Soule run. It already annoys me that he doesn't have his superpowers. So if he's just another puppet, I'm gonna be annoyed. It's gonna be like freaking Taskmaster and Black Widow.
Muse can fight. Muse can handle themselves, though. Muse can fight.
Did he though? He got lucky.
I mean, sometimes that's all it takes.
I mean, that was a pretty impressive amount of time he held his own against Daredevil, but then Daredevil got the upper hand.
I mean, sure, but like Muse in the comics is like able to like remove everyone's senses around them, and then that's how he victimizes people. Was really hoping for that kind of stuff, you know. But yeah,
down the road we may find. Listen, you know, the Musion that's out there that made Matt could make Muse or whatever. We could find something else out. So,
or you know, we'll get Terrigen Mist again one day.
Oh my god, in the fish oil.
Hey, I got Black Bolt Multiverse of Madness. It's not that far-fetched.
Can you really say you did though? Listen,
he definitely went out with a bang.
Were you excited? Did it blow your mind?
A little bit, yes.
So my thoughts overall, I enjoyed the 2 episodes. I feel like the first hour with interest was probably the most exciting for me. I knew it was coming, but the moment that he broke that guy's leg when he was on the scaffolding, I still I jerked. because like I feel all of those things. Like whenever it happens, I don't know what it is. But it just reminds me that it's like Disney, the MCU and Disney can make some visceral stuff. They're just doing it very sparingly. Will we get more Muse? Absolutely. Will we get a better, like a Muse 2.0 that's ready for Matt next time? I really hope so. And I really hope we see more, of that. I never expected that fight to be that intense, but of course it's nice to see, ricocheting batons, and, we see that there's problems on the way, and and like I said before, I understand it would frustrate some people, but they could have ended it right there where he's on the suit. The next season he's on the run or whatever else, and I'd be here for it. But we've got more to come, and I'm looking forward to talking about it next week. With that said, let's go ahead and everybody tell us where we can find you, and then I'll do my shameless plug for It's FanBox, and we'll call it a night. David, we'll do clock fives again. David, take it away.
I am my name is David. I am Xanatos1138 on all social medias, mostly TikTok, trying to do Twitch, but we'll see whenever that takes off.
Okay, me. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be more of the Twitch thing. Hey guys, I am Shay Jones. You can find me at A Spoonful of Shay across all social media platforms, and I am working on a podcast to hopefully come out starting in June. So keep a lookout for that.
I am Jonathan. Y'all can find me at The Marvelous Johnny. Remember, there's 2 L's in Marvelous. Y'all can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. I might actually do some Twitch streaming tomorrow because my roommate's not home right now, so I can play video games all late till the night and scream from playing Alien Isolation or Lethal Company. Could be really fun.
Nice. And I'm Tony. You can find me at Mr. Marvelite everywhere. You can find me on social media, and most importantly, check out It's FanBox, itsfanbox.com. We're not trying to be the normal news site. We are really just talking about the things that we love, whether it be this show, Fandoms on Fridays, or like tomorrow, we are doing TARDIS Talk, where we're talking about the episode Boomtown, as we are coming really close to the next regeneration. And we are going to basically end season 1, and the Christopher Eccleston run. And as much as I've enjoyed it, I am here for it. I'm ready to get in some Tenet. But regardless, you can find us there at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. We will be back next week to talk about the next episode of Daredevil Born Again. Looking forward to some more, or maybe just some brutal interaction between Fisk and Daredevil, and maybe some more Muse. But regardless, I'm Tony, and thank you so much for joining. Everybody has to say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Nice.